Welcome to another episode of Ordinary Guys Bourbon. Today on the program again, my very good friend, special guest, Ken Pluff. Ken, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
And this is your second time on the show, I think.
Yes.
I think the first episode was episode 5. We did Old Tub, right?
Yes.
Which is one of my favorites. I really love Old Tub.
It was good.
And you're not a big bourbon guy.
No, it's not my drink of choice, but I don't mind it.
But do you think, like Old Tub, when we had it, you were talking about, and you mentioned this earlier today, where you have the sample that's neat, and that tastes very much like whiskey.
Yes.
But then, you've got yours again with ice and water, as I do mine, which really, I mean, you can tell by the color itself, it really cuts the proof down like halfway, right? And it's a completely different drink, I think.
Yeah.
You were mentioning today that it kind of, you at least with Old Tub, you didn't mind the one with water at all. It made a big difference.
No. Yeah, and I'm, like I said, I'm not a bourbon drinker, but it makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah, it really
doesn't have that bite, Yeah. So
you see this today, I had to put tape over my my
all right.
work logo. That's what this is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, we won't speak.
I know you got me, which is Spanish for you.
Yeah.
I'm me.
Spanish for moi.
Me, Ken.
Yes.
Me, I don't know. Yeah. Last time you were on the program, we talked a little bit about motorcycling, and it's getting to be spring. The temperature's warming up, which is really the time. And I know last year you had acquired a very fast bike, right? Was it the quarter mile time on it, or was it?
Was that? Yes, that was an 8th mile.
8th mile?
Yes.
And what was the time that it had?
6:30.
And that bike had it had like they have the treadmill at the gym, like I know, but I've seen pictures. It's got the if I fall off the bike, the kill switch.
It's got a kill switch.
Right.
It has a kill switch.
And then that bike also had some kind of automatic shifter.
It has a pneumatic shifter, not an air shifter. Mine's pneumatic.
Okay. That makes it fast.
It helps.
But you found some problems with this bike at the end of the season. Not counting the tire.
Both tires.
Right.
So yeah, after I picked it up, it was an older gentleman, and I, put a little too much faith in him, especially doing, 170, 80 miles an hour now and again. But
that's scale miles per hour, not
right.
That would be illegal.
Yeah,
but you're
in
saying,
Mexico. I did it in Mexico.
Well, okay,
so
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You were probably running for your life.
Yeah.
But so you found what? What was wrong with it?
So there were nuts and bolts that had, were missing, falling off, loose, and so this over the winter I put it away, tore it down, and am in the process of putting it back together.
But when you say tore it down, like you didn't just. I'm just looking for a couple of bolts that are loose.
No,
This thing's down to it's nothing.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I, looked everything over thoroughly, and I tore it down to the frame, had the frame and swing arm powder coated, and added a couple odds and ends here.
It's gonna be ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to go. But that's not the bike that's really your pride and joy, because you've been building another bike for a couple years now.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think that's the bike that you're hoping to have ready.
Yes.
First.
I'm actually working on that first. So
if your order doesn't get canceled,
right?
For your jack gear, whatever it was, jack bolt, jack o' lantern. What the hell did you order?
I ordered quite a bit. I ordered carbon fiber wheels. I ordered a turbo.
Well, don't say anything that Angie's gonna be.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't order anything.
I
don't lie. So
no.
Yeah, don't put me in that spot.
Right. So I do have a KZ1000 that I have been working on for a few years, and I have all the parts to put it back together now, so that's what I'm doing.
But there's like, I came over the other day and we were working on things. I was more comic relief than helping. But like, because you're putting this together and you're using what you want.
Yes.
There's little things that people wouldn't think of. The big deal, like alignment of things being off a half inch as you're trying to align the chain, right, from the gearbox to the axle, right?
Yep.
That makes a big difference.
Yep.
Right.
So, without going into a lot of boring details, because it's a original shaft-driven bike, the frame is a little wider, so
Okay.
it allows me to use a wider rear tire.
Okay.
So I have put a ZX14 front end on it and a ZX14 rear swing arm on it, which allows me to put like a 200 series back tire on it.
But it's because it used to be a shaft-driven bike.
Yes.
That's where the gearbox is
Right.
all lined up for
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
And so you need to.
Yep. If it were a original chain drive bike, I would only be able to put like a 160.
You can shim stuff. Like you can get those wooden shims at Home Depot.
Yeah, like for door jams.
Yeah, just put those in. You build them up.
I will give that a shot.
Yeah, you ever seen like the Max when people build up shims? Like they're putting cabinets together. You ever seen like try to like take up like an inch?
Yeah,
You know, with just shims stacked on top of each other.
I have tore down some Mino equipment
Yeah.
in the recent past.
Okay.
And yes, instead of creating blocks, they have stacked shims 2 inches tall.
Yeah. Well, they're being problem solvers.
Yeah.
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 That's solving the problem.
Yeah.
So Ken, we've got an interesting bourbon today, and this is cool. I've been saving this bottle for your next visit.
Okay.
This is Few Spirits is the brand. It's Black Rebel Motorcycle Club Motor Oil.
All right.
It's a $55 offer. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit of my research here. Few Spirits might not have a long history, but the history is kind of neat. Okay. The founder, a guy named Paul Hletko. I might probably that. Hletko. Hletko?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. He founded the distillery in 2011 in Evanston, Illinois. That's kind of the cool part of the story. According to the website, Paul's grandfather's family owned a large brewery in what's now the Czech Republic that was confiscated at the beginning of World War II. It was March 15, 1939 when Germany invaded Czechoslovakia, which was a violation of the Munich Pact, you'll remember. It's signed not even a year earlier by Germany, Great Britain, France, and Italy. Paul's grandfather, without a brewery, was the only one in the family to survive the war.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then Paul himself has an amazing story. He graduated from University of Michigan with an engineering degree in 1992. Then obtained his JD from Loyola University in Chicago in 1996. That makes him an attorney. Then he spent 1994 through 2013 practicing law with a lot of focus on patent law and intellectual property protection. Before starting Few Spirits, he also experimented as a professional guitar player and ran a record label, among other things. But it was in honor of his grandfather that he began the path that we're talking about right here.
Okay.
So Few, it was founded in Evanston, Illinois. Interestingly, Evanston had never had any alcohol production ever. Evanston's long history with prohibition and limiting alcohol goes back to its founding in 1855. It wasn't until 1972 when City Council approved the first liquor license in the entire city. It was a dry community from 1858 until then. So I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah.
Paul sold Few to Samson & Surrey in 2016. Heaven Hill then purchased Samson & Surrey with Few Spirits along with Tequila Ocho, Widow Jane, American Whiskey, which I think we had Baby Jane was a previous episode, Blue Coat Gin, and some others. Heaven Hill purchased them in 2022. I couldn't find any information about that deal. But you know I love Heaven Hill.
Yeah.
I love Heaven Hill. They're one of the very few private, family-owned distilleries. They were founded in 1935 in the U.S. So Few Spirits Motor Oil, it's one of many in a collaboration with Icons of Rock that also include offerings that are in partnership with Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins, and the Flaming Lips. Motor Oil honors the 21st anniversary of the Black Rebel Motorcycle Club's debut album. It's a blend of 3 whiskeys, Few Bourbon finished in rum barrels, Few Bourbon finished in vermouth barrels, and a mesquite smoked wheat whiskey that's bottled at 101 proof. So that's what I've got. Kind of an interesting history. You know, some of these companies, I mean, that's cool. That's a cool story. That's a cool bottle,
that's cool.
right?
Yeah.
And with this, it's got the skull and crossbones on the front. I think that's the motorcycle club logo. I think.
Looks like an outlaw.
I'm not sure. It looks like it's motorcycle blend. So that's the history of this bourbon. It's not tremendously long, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
If the story is true, and I can't believe that Paul Hletko would lie.
Yeah.
If the story is true about his family's past in Czechoslovakia and World War II, I mean that's an interesting and
Yes.
sad story, really. But it's brought us this spirit, and it's also interesting to know that Evanston was dry for 130 years. 120. So, with that being said, let's just get into it.
Okay.
Right? So, here's the first sample. Cheers to you, Ken.
Cheers. Cheers.
You know, when you were talking about how you found that loose bolt,
Yes.
and so you had to take apart. What was that bike called again? What was that?
ZX14.
ZX14. I have another good friend of mine, also named Ken.
Oh, okay.
No relation.
Right.
I'm not coming to different people.
Yeah.
Ken is a friend of mine who at one point had an RX-7, like a late model RX-7, right? Like imported from Japan. Cool as shit car,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Rotary and what is it? Tricycloid?
Rotary, yeah.
Right? The
Rotary engine.
Rotary.
Yes.
And I think I'm probably embellishing. Maybe Ken will have to come on the program as well and talk some truth here. But I think he wanted to change the oil. And so if he's gonna change, it's like that story if you give him us a cookie. He started to change the oil, and then he realized, well, you know, if I'm gonna change the oil, I might as well clean out the engine. If I'm gonna clean out the engine, I might as well bore it out a little bit.
Might as well.
If I'm gonna do that, I might as well do a new carbon fiber dash.
Yeah.
You know, and if I'm gonna do that, I might as well refurbish my garage.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna do that, I might as well put a heater in the garage, because if I'm working on the car, I need a heater. And like your garage, you've got all those shelves set up.
Yes.
He had shelves all along the back of this garage, just full of car parts. And he was making the molds for the dashboard himself, right?
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know if he ever finished the damn car, right? Because he got married to his beautiful wife Jenny, and who works at Rivian.
Okay.
Interestingly enough.
All right.
But I haven't seen Ken in a couple of years. I should probably reach out to him and see how he's doing. Anyways, that was a neat sample. Let's get to the other sample and let's get to the scoring.
All right.
Maybe it's just a Ken thing, that you start a project and you just keep on getting deeper and deeper into it.
Snowballs.
You know, last time you were on, there was some arithmetic issues, right? And then for whatever reason, I couldn't get off that. So like the next 6 episodes, I've said, yeah, we had this guy on the show a couple episodes with Ken Pluff, and man, he couldn't add with a shit.
No.
Every single episode.
Math is not my strong
So
suit.
that ends today.
Absolutely.
I'm never gonna make that comment again. $55 offering. It's a cool bottle though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We've got quite a few episodes now, and I think it's getting close to the time where we need to do a rack and stack of our numbers, to date,
Okay.
and see how they look. Because it would be interesting to see if, we record the episodes sometimes a week, sometimes I think it's been 2 weeks since I recorded an episode.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be interesting to see if how consistent I am on the scoring, right? How consistent the guests are on the scoring, and how that works out. So you ready?
Yeah.
You think you got it done? So let's start off with Heritage. So this is a maximum score 20.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for Heritage?
I have 15.
15. You give it a strong score.
Yeah, it's an interesting story.
It is, but not a lot of history with the
No,
product
but
itself.
I had sympathy with his family.
Yeah.
Losing his family.
That's fair. I give it a 10,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see where you went with the 15.
Yeah.
Taste and drinkability, maximum 40.
So I actually really like this. Even neat.
Really?
It was, yeah,
Yeah.
tolerable.
That's
So I
good.
gave it a 30.
30.
Yeah.
I maybe didn't like it as much as you did. I give it a 26.
Okay.
But I agree. This is, I didn't see age information when maybe I should have spent some more time doing that. It's a blend of 3 bourbons. I did bring that up. But it almost has a little bit of youth to it. And I don't know if I'm breaking a rule on our show by saying it. Well, there's a little what is it? A camshaft? Piston in the camshaft?
That's the connecting rod.
The con rod, yeah.
The piston.
Yeah, how cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
but it's got a little bit of youth to it, but not as much as I'd think for a newer company. It's pretty nice taste.
Yeah, I don't know if they tell you how long they age it, right?
They probably do. I just didn't. My research wasn't good enough. What about affordability? This is a $55 bottle.
That's not bad. I gave it a 20.
20 out of 30.
20 out of 30.
I give it a 12, and maybe I could have gone a little higher with this. I probably should have. In fact, I think for the first time, I'm going to change my score.
All right.
I'm going to change my score. Because 55 is not, I mean, you've got a range of bourbons that are in like the $30 price point, $35. This is clearly higher than that. But it's also not at like a $200 price point or a $100 price point.
Right.
I had originally given it a 12, and I'm going to move that up to a 15.
Okay.
You gave it a what now?
A 20. Just because, like, at $55, I would go out and buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've drank some of the other ones that, you know, are in the higher price point.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would go out and buy them.
That's fair. Design.
Design, I gave it an 8.
I give it an 8 as well.
All right.
Same score.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like the
Yeah,
bottle.
it's a cool concept.
Yeah. And I almost want to go back and see if I can find the Smashing Pumpkins version.
Right.
I want to see if I can find the Flaming Lips version.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to have on the shelf that, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know if the collection's only 4 deep or whatnot, but to have that collection of
Right.
all their different collaborations. So your overall score was
73.
73. I gave it a 59.
All right. I don't know if that's right. Can you check my math?
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But this ends today. Got 50, 65s. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
50, 65, 73.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
There you
good.
go.
Good work.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, listen, this I think is episode 17, I think.
Yes.
So we're on the home stretch for season 1.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to get season 1 wrapped up. I'd like to by the end of May.
Okay.
And then we're going to take a little bit of time off. And I think there's been some feedback. I think we're going to look at some changes to the set.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get some higher top tables,
Mm-hmm.
right? And maybe for season 2 we'll have it back on, unless we bring back a season finale that's a special event.
Yeah. It was a special.
Until next time, thanks for joining and watching Ordinary Guys Bourbon.